Hi guys, how are you? It's Kendall. Just wanted to jump on here and share a little bit more about what I'm actually eating on the carnivore diet. I know a lot of you are probably curious about that. I know when I started, I was thinking, what am I going to do if I can't eat vegetables? And it just didn't seem right to me, but it didn't take me very long to get used to it, and I actually look forward to every meal. And it's amazing how creative and how many different things you can eat, and just the feeling of feeling full and satiated and satisfied and not feeling hungry all the time, and not having the cravings, and I could just go on and on and on, not feeling bloated, and just your body working optimally how it's meant to work, and we're eating as we were meant to eat, like our ancestors ate, feels so right to me. So I am happy to share a little bit about that. So generally, most people, it's carnivore can be any sort of meat really. So we tend to try and eat fatty meats, and you need the fat in the meats to fill you up, and because you're burning fat, not the carbohydrates and the sugars. So you need fattier cuts of meat. It could be minces, sirloin steaks, porterhouse steak, ribeyes, as my shirt says, helping folks one ribeye at a time, sausages, chicken, fish, salmon's a really good one, sardines, eggs. You can have a little bit of dairy, and this is where it gets, you'll start doing research, and I do advise you to do some research. You'll hear different things from different people, and it really depends on your own health concerns and why you're doing carnivore. So you really want to know why you want to start this. I've never been one to start diets before. I have cut out processed food before, which has helped enormously with, going to the toilet, eliminating things, feeling a lot better in my clothes, and not feeling so foggy. So I've done that before, but I've never been a fan of doing diets. So this was a real big decision for me to do this. But as some of you know from my last video, I'm doing it because I suffer from an autoimmune disease, and I really don't want to go back on the medication I was on. And already in 4 weeks, my joints are going down. So that was my why. So you want to know your why, and that will then also help you work out what you want to eat as well. And it will be experimenting, and you will need to experiment a little bit. For me, I'm a little bit more cut and dried with what I should be eating, because people that do have the inflammatory problems tend to need to focus on just ruminant animals, which are the animals with more stomachs, so cows and sheep, and that sort of thing. And you want to be able to eat that meat because it's easier to digest for people that have the inflammation. And you'll have to experiment. And a little bit of dairy you could try, but most people with inflammation issues can't have any dairy, or very little dairy. I can't have yogurt. I didn't experiment with that, and that was quite bad for my joints and inflammation. I have a little bit of cheese, but I use cheese as a condiment. So I use it as a little treat, or like a little dessert, but I don't use it as on its own food. I have it with my meat. So I'll have a little bit of melted cheese on my meat, or a little bit cut up with my meat, and eat it with my meat or my chicken. And I love that because it adds flavor and a different feel. We had blue cheese on beautiful porterhouse steak the other night. It was lovely, but just a little bit. So, but that's my journey. So I know I can't have the dairy that other people are having. Even some people with butter, because it's got the protein, the milk protein in the butter. It's got some people can't have butter, so they need to have things like tallow, which is the beef fats, or ghee. You need to experiment. So there's a little bit of experimenting, but it's fun. There's some great places you can buy carnivore food from, or carnivore products from, and so mainly meat. So I have some beautiful Angus beef patties I have regularly. They're easier. I pop them in my air fryer, which is my new favorite thing. We've just bought a second air fryer, which has got more shelves. Chicken fillets in the air fryer. Things that can make meatballs. You can make stews and slow cookers with all different cuts of meat. You can use pork and bacon. Eggs have always been a favorite, so I have a lot of eggs. So it's really you've got a big choice of food. It's just not eating things that are carbohydrates. So you're not eating your rice, your pastas, your breads, your seeds, and I'm not eating any vegetables. So all that's out for me, and I'm just eating as our ancestors did, which was just eating meat and water. And we have, you know, 2, sometimes 3 meals, depending on what I'm doing and what times I've got to be in places. Sometimes I might have to have a couple of eggs to get me through, but I tend to try and have 2 big meals, and I'm absolutely happy with that. It's awesome. So that's just a little bit about the sort of food I'm eating, and there's a lot of research you can do on that too. So I'll put some links down below to some people that you can listen to about the food as well. But it is experimenting, and it is finding out what works for your body, and going from there. Okay, look forward to talking to you guys soon. Bye-bye.